Alright, it's time for me to give 5 players you should drop in fantasy football this week. It's time for everyone to take a deep breath and let go of the guys they kind of are attached to. The first is unfortunately David Wilson, and a lot of people thought he might be a sleeper because he would be the Giants running back this year. Not the case. He has fallen out of favor there. He has a measly 1 point on the year. Guys, just get rid of him. There are so many better backs out there on the market. He is in a hole there in New York. I don't think he'll ever get out of it. Laurel Scott is the running back. He's going to get the nod there in New York. And it really doesn't matter because they can't run the ball anyways. David Wilson is just filling up roster space on your team. I know a lot of people picked him early, but get rid of him as soon as you can. The next player I'm going to go with is Montee Ball, running back for the Denver Broncos. He's a guy that everyone thought is going to be their goal line back for the Broncos, who are going to score a lot of points. Not the case. He has gotten a few carries. He isn't getting a lot of yards. Knowshon Moreno is definitely the guy in Denver. Even though they don't run the ball a lot, he's the guy that they will go to down the stretch on third down. Knowshon Moreno is the guy that you guys need. In terms of Montee Ball, I would get rid of him immediately. He's not going to get you any value, it looks like, this season. He could get better. Like I said, there's so many good running backs out there in the waiver wire. Bernard Pierce, James Starks, because Eddie Lacy just got injured. If you guys watch my other video, you guys will learn 5 guys you should pick up this week. Montee Ball looks like he shouldn't. He might be filling up your roster space. The next guy, if you have him on your team, I can't stand him, is wide receiver Sidney Rice. This guy is a one-hit wonder. He was good for 1 season in Minnesota, signs a contract with Seattle, and has been awful ever since. Yet everyone still takes him. He's owned in, I think, 67% of Yahoo leagues. Why take this guy? This guy really frustrates me. I can't stand why people take Sidney Rice. I remember I traded for him a couple years ago, and he was horrible, and he still is this year. He does nothing. He gets a couple yards a game. He is a shell of what he used to be. He's not even close to the number 1 receiver there in Seattle. Just get rid of Sidney Rice, please. Why would you take him? He's not going to get the ball. He doesn't get touchdowns. He is worthless on your team. Get rid of him now. The next guy I'm kind of sad to talk about because I thought he was actually a sleeper this year is Kenbrell Thompkins. And you might think, he's going to get better. He's a rookie. It doesn't look like it. It looks like he's kind of fallen out of favor there in New England. If I had to say drop a player, drop Kenbrell because there are players on the waiver market that would be better fits. Kenbrell anyways was a fringe WR3. Definitely a 4th or 5th wide receiver. Guys like an Eddie Royal, stand out, that a guy that could come in and be contributors to a team better than him. A guy that's proven. New England's had struggles at wide receiver position. They might bring in another player. I would stay away from Kenbrell, especially if there's a wide receiver on the market. Drop Kenbrell. Maybe get like a Jonathan Baldwin, Robert Woods, someone that's actually produced this year. Kenbrell, I don't think he will. Especially with Gronkowski and stuff coming back in New England very shortly. Kenbrell is not going to be even looked at. He's falling out of favor in New England. I would drop him, pick up one of those receivers I talked about earlier. And then the last team to drop. Now, they're only 40% owned in Yahoo leagues, but if you have them, just get rid of them now. It's the Giants defense. And you're saying, drop a defense. Well, you got to get rid of them. I know they played Denver, but they played Dallas, who wasn't a very high-powered offense, but the Giants can't stop anyone. Their defense gives up a ton of yards, a ton of touchdowns. They haven't been getting any turnovers, to say the least. Drop the Giants defense. There are so many other better ones that could give you a decent point outage during the week. Someone like Kansas City, who's only owned by a little over 20% of the league. Somewhere in that kind of mold, you should go. Don't have the Giants defense. They're just going to hurt your team. They're due for lots of negative point games, and that has to be the most frustrating thing, especially if you're in a close game during the week and you have the Giants defense and they have a -5, then you lose that week. Pointless team to have. I hope you guys enjoyed my video on 5 players to drop this week. please just drop them. Like I said, you might want to keep one or two of these guys. I know you might feel attached, but honestly, most of these guys won't do anything the rest of the season. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a good day.